Good morning, everybody, and happy Sunday. We are once again off on it, not on NBC right now. We were only on this weekend from 6 to 7 because of the Open Championship. I hope you are all enjoying your Sunday so far. We saw a few more clouds again this morning, but not necessarily as much abundant cloud cover than we've seen the past few days. So that's some good news. Yesterday was really clouded over, so we were tracking some of those early morning showers. Now, this afternoon's forecast is going to feature a lot of sunshine mixing in, but some clouds as well. Partly sunny for the majority of the day. UV index is going to be very high, so that's definitely going to give us an opportunity for a lot of sun. You definitely want to put on that sunscreen. You don't want to be peeling all that grossness, right? As you get closer to maybe the Labor Day holiday. Today, though, compared to yesterday, we definitely have a slightly better chance for a few showers and storms. However, it is still going to be a nice day overall to get outside. Water temperature on the lake, if that's part of your plans, in the upper 80s and lower 90s. So I don't really feel like it feels like a nice little change, but nonetheless, it is a change. Right now, we have one shower moving through parts here of Cleveland County. This is in the southern half, so this is not really near Shelby. Watching some of the winds right now, not very aggressive, about 15 to 20 miles per hour at the most. But right now, downpouring in Patterson Springs. You can see they're just south of Shelby. I think the northern tip of Shelby will likely get clipped by some of this light to moderate rain, but it looks like the heavy rain is still further south. This will eventually, move from the south and west toward the north and east and move into parts of Gaston County. Now, some trend that I have been noticing over the past few hours is that a lot of the quick pockets of heavy rain have then started to diminish. So we had a shower earlier in Caldwell County that by the time it got to Alexander, it was essentially nothing. You can kind of see it a little bit too with this cell that was previously out of our viewing area, moved into Avery County, and essentially is now just some light rain just west there of Pineola, kind of near the I-95 or the 194, can't speak today, corridor. As we get closer to the afternoon and evening time frame, we are going to see more showers and storms start to develop. This will mainly be after lunchtime, but again, we're seeing a few right now, a few isolated, not out of the question for the latter half of the morning. We know quick pockets of heavy rain, that's a normal thing, right? And of course, frequent lightning, but is there the potential of some of these storms to become strong to severe? Easy question. Answer to your question is yes. With enough sunshine, we are going to have enough instability that a few of these will become strong to severe. Again, it's not a widespread risk. So when we talk about widespread risk, we're talking about, how many, parts of the area are going to see this risk. Not everyone will see rain and storms. Those who do will have heavy rain, frequent lightning, and then especially gusty winds. Now, I did have a few questions just based on what's happened. It feels like as of late is will we see the potential for localized flooding? I think it is definitely a possibility that areas that see heavy rain for long periods of time, for example, areas mainly along and south of Charlotte tonight, could see some localized flooding. The good news is the wind is kind of kicking a little bit more today. We are breezy at times. And so I don't think that the air is stagnant enough that it's going to be that cell like a few weekends ago where it's literally sitting over Mecklenburg County and cause flooding on 74. Now, again, it doesn't mean we won't have localized flooding in a few spots, but I don't think it'll be widespread for everybody. Now, gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour will be our primary risk when it comes to the potential of strong to severe storms. This is mainly I-40 and south, and 60 plus miles per hour is that threshold for severe storms. Now, again, that means a severe thunderstorm warning could be issued. Great way to get those alerts, as always, is downloading the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. There also is a low risk of some localized hail. Oftentimes, this is smaller than a quarter, about a quarter, which is an inch, which is the threshold. So I don't think that it's out of the question that we can see some hailstones. But I think it's going to be those huge ones, that have been breaking windshields over on the west side of the United States. Not this time. Doesn't mean that we can't get bigger hailstones, but I don't think it's this time. Other than the fact that we have the chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms today, let's talk about the heat. We got a break yesterday. I know it still felt like summertime, but the high was only 88, which is a little bit higher than 86, but still in the upper 80s. Today, I'm expecting us to be pretty much the same. However, it is the last day we'll be in the upper 80s. The heat comes roaring in as we enter the mid to late part of this upcoming work week. That is going to allow for essentially a 100% chance that our temperatures are going to be well above average for this time of year. So that is going to put us in a bit of an interesting pattern that we don't see a lot of times during the summer. Hi, Jeff. Good morning. Miss you so much. That is going to mean more heat, more humidity, which means the feels like temperature is eventually going to go back up. Chance that we could see some upper 90s for heat index values, if not the lower 100s by this time next week. In the tropics, wanted to give you guys a quick update on this. We do have the tropical potential for Invest 95L, area of interest out in the Atlantic Basin, right now in the central Atlantic. This is lowered since yesterday. You might have noticed that, down to a 40% chance over the next week. It really doesn't change us at all. But what I will tell you is that the reason why this has gone down is because although the water temperature is conducive for development, favorable for development in this region, Invest 95L is going to encounter some really high wind shear as it tries to enter the Eastern Caribbean. Wind shear essentially rips storms apart from pretty much the top up. So when you have high wind shear like that, the storm either has trouble forming, or if it does form, it rips the storm's top off. So then it's lopsided, and oftentimes it either will fall apart or it just can't continue to strengthen. And the wind shear is higher in the area shaded in red. So because of that wind shear, it doesn't look favorable at this point that it'll form over the next week. Doesn't mean though that the energy won't still be there, and there will be a chance at some point, still likely, at least a chance that Invest 95L could eventually reform. Your guide roofing 7-day forecast will show this change locally in terms of the heat and humidity. You can see mostly afternoon and evening storms today, highs near 88, 90 tomorrow. I'm keeping a low chance for rain in, but most of the upcoming week is mostly dry. We're talking 20% chance of rain at a maximum, but you can see what I meant by the warm temperatures. Our hottest temp so far this year has been 95. We will likely be flirting with that for most of this week, if not breaking that for the year so far by next weekend. That, of course, is also the day that Charlotte FC is back at home at the bank. Now, for next weekend, when the highs in the mid 90s, even if we only have a slight, humidity level, that means an easier chance to get into the lower 100s for the feels like temperature. So just make sure that you are keeping that in mind, staying hydrated. We'll be talking about it a lot over the next week, but this will be vitally important, especially during the daylight hours, because if you've ever been to Bank of America Stadium, if you're on the visitor side, you bake in the sun, whereas, like, of course, on the opposing side, you're more so in the shade. So where you sit, I think, for the match next week will be incredibly, incredibly important. So stay safe out there, folks, today. It really will not be a bad day. We have sunshine mixing in, highs in the upper 80s. Just keep an eye out for some of the storms later on this afternoon. And remember, when thunder roars, move indoors. It's you know, I feel like we say like silly things sometimes, it's something we talk about with kids, but it is position that the National Weather Service holds that we try to promote as well. Essentially, when thunder roars, move indoors means if you're outside and you hear thunder or see lightning, you are unfortunately close enough to be struck, because lightning can strike about 30 miles from the center of a storm. So just please don't forget that as you're heading on the lake today, maybe you're laying by the pool, or just maybe outside in the garden doing chores. That's what my family and I growing up typically did on a Sunday. It was church and chores, the two C's. Everybody have a great day. And I will see you back on Wake Up Charlotte weekend next weekend with Caitlin Hagenwood. And I'll be in and out kind of here and there this upcoming week, working on some weather and science stories for you for here on air as well as online. Have a great week, and leave any questions, comments, concerns right here in the comments. You can Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email me, whatever you got going on. Have a great day.